What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another part of the old school series. I'm really happy that the series is rolling again. Sorry for the small delay, but I could not connect to my database, which is a problem because all my hands are in there. We are still battling in 2006. It's still March. We are playing 5-10, and the action got fast and furious last time. Really shitty period for us back then, I guess. So I hope that changes. You know, I was there. I was there when this all happened, but I hope it changes. All right, easy defend, of course. Pretty cool. You can also, it's a little bit deep, but you can definitely choose this as 3-betting as well. And you might ask why? Because it's tougher to play this 3-handed, because then your 5 or 7 is going to be less good, less often. Also, you know about that time when you 3-bet out of position and the flop is 8-5-4, and you need to always check your ace-king, or you're in trouble with aces even, when somebody gives you a lot of action? Well, fear no more. If you have hands like this in there sometimes, that can really do you a lot of good, because then if you hit 8-5-4, you're going to check, and every single one of your outs that you hit, your opponent's going to try and represent. So it's definitely good to bump it up to 200 here sometimes. Wouldn't really hate seeing that. There we go, 70, 140. Ugh, this is always very nasty. The thing is, though, what if we learn about min raises? It's usually with the nuts, right? Well, very strong hands at least. Even though, you know, this is still 2006. Your biggest concern is this guy, but let's think about this guy's range for a second. What is the best possible hand he could have? 8s, right? Is he gonna raise with 8s? Or let's say 3s or 6s, right? Because 8s is like a very clear flat call for him. Or let's say like... well, maybe it isn't actually. Now that I think about it, you might get some more value against him. Plus, if I flat here, I might have a lot of 5-7, 5-4, and 9-7 that you want to push for some action. But, you know, let's say that he flats a lot with sets. I still think that people flat a lot with sets. I think your only concern is that this guy thinks this is absolute dog shit and that he just shoves with kings or something. But shoves, yeah, that's not going to happen. You see, even kings are in an awkward spot. What is he going to do? I call, and then he makes it 550 and then it fold and I go all in. He's like, oh fuck, so he didn't have a straight draw. You know, it's very awkward. So I do think that we can just peel here. We also have position on this guy on future streets, which is nice. Oh, how sweet you are. 390, that's a hefty bet. It's not a scare card though. I don't really mind the bet, but I think I'm too focused on this stack. Whereas with the 390, it's kind of an overkill against his stack. If he has a good hand, I'm going to get it in when I bet 220 as well. And if I bet 220, there's a big chance I'm going to keep his 10s in there or something. Because in his mind, the 4 didn't really change the board that much, right? So we're just going to get it in. I guess this guy has a 10s. Okay, that's not bad. That's about 0% bet. All right. Longest straight the world has ever seen. But interesting betting dynamic there, especially on the flop. I think so. I think so, because like in a way, you know, when you make light calls, like let's say you defend the big blind, right? Defending the big blind light is good because you know exactly what you're getting into. You know how many players are in the pot, you know everything that happened in front of you, and usually you close the action, which is a big thing. Now, if you look at this hand, I don't close the action, but in a way I'm very protected because this guy is not gonna really fucking spew her too often. So I really don't think that we're going to see many raises here, especially this deep. If this guy had 1,000, he might just think, ah, fuck these guys, and go for it. But, you know. All right, interesting. Good. Yes, kings. Oh my god, the 4x. Always check the names. Oh, what is this? This guy thinks he's playing limit hold'em. That's the wrong table, buddy. Oh, no, that's no limit hold'em for sure. You've got to be joking. It's good to see that I make it 200. In my mind, I said this last time too, in my mind, this barely ever happened online, but I was wrong. However, I haven't seen me do it with a bluff yet, so there's that. Alright, let's felt this fucker. Oh, that's overkill. Alright, kings versus aces, whatever. Yada yada. Good job. Now, same spot. I'd prefer not to have 2 cards below 5 when you 3-bet, because it's... cards below 5 in PLO, that's like such a PLO saying, but it's harder to make straights with them, right? Like you can make less straights with 4-3. Is that actually true? Yeah, that is true, because there's no king ace deuce. So you can make less straights with 4-3 than you can with 5-4. So that's always something to think about. That does make the value go down. Also, just flops significantly worse flops than you do with like, you know, 7-5. But whatever. This seems to be one of the good flops. Nah, mate. All right, we call again. I don't really mind this, honestly. It's a little hard to put this guy on, you know, aces or kings, but ace king definitely in there. We've seen more 2006 hands than we can count. By the way, I'm sorry if my phone goes off, but I have to keep it on because I'll turn the sound down because Mirta's actually on her way to the airport. Or at the airport. And I want to know that everything's going well, you know? Like, yeah, we have a lot of suitcases and stuff always. So why the fuck is this not in the middle? Go over there. Jeez. Look at that. Now we got a nice little thing going. Oh. Hi. Whoa! Oh, Santa. Wow! Now this is incredible. This is like, well, there's only one combination of aces left. Well, this is kind of crazy. I mean, honestly, this guy, I have no idea. This is, if somebody does this to like, because I have an ace as a blocker, you're one of the best players in the world. If you make bluffs like this, it's probably not good anyway, but this is fucking a gift. If you see this, like really, why would you ever, in my mind, it's like, okay, we don't, I'm talking about strategy from like a modern viewpoint, but if people do shit like this ever, just defend all your fucking big blinds. Wait till you flop something decent. Didn't he raise the flop as well? Oh yeah, I'm all for it. This is one of the craziest gifts we've seen in this series so far. Seriously, like that man. Where's my money? 30. All right, we call. You can definitely 3-bet in position. I think Meat City was pretty aggro, but I'm not sure if I remember correctly. I hate these fucking top pair, top kicker spots against these aggro regulars. Somebody in the comments asked me, like, can you look at your stats, how you did against preposterous? It's kind of hard because if a direct opponent is in the blinds, you could look at pots over 40 bucks maybe. It would be interesting to see how I do for certain players. My Hold'em manager just started working. I immediately fucking turned this thing on and started recording. So I did not have the time to look at that stat, but I did not have the time to look at that stat yet. So, but it's an interesting stat. All right. You know, this is so tragic because you're just gonna lose the eights. Wow, great turn call as well. All right, no, in all seriousness though, like I did feel very strongly about this guy's hand. It's so interesting. This is such an interesting hand. This. Alright, obviously, like, you can't fold the river anymore, because if you start folding top 2 here, then what are you really doing, right? You could even see somebody, like, let's say somebody has ace-8 of clubs. This is a very, very decent value bet spot. Like, I'm not trying to backtrack, but it looks insanely strong, so well played by him as well. I like that I overbet the flop. Just a little bit. Just a little bit though. All right, well played. Well played. Well played by him as well. Meat City. Oh wait, yeah, he was an aggro reg too. I mean, it's not like I'm ever folding against preposterous here, which is why I sometimes lose a 4K pot with top pair, top kicker. But guys, if you lose top pair, top kicker, or if you're gonna fold it to really good aggressive regulars, then what exactly are you expecting to happen in the future? They're just gonna run you the fuck over. If you're gonna call fold, call fold, even just doing it for the fuck of it, right? Like even just sometimes saying, all right, I play against this guy every single day. This guy really needs to see, because that stands out to people. Let's say I call this guy's riverbed, right? Let's say I play against Meat City every single day, and I have Queen Jack here, or King Jack, and the river's an ace, and he bets like that. Sometimes you just gotta say, you know what, I just call. And they're gonna remember that. They're gonna remember that out of proportion. They're not gonna think, wow, he made such a loose call this time, or he picked up a bluff this time, you know. What they're gonna remember is, holy shit, this guy makes light calls. Or they're gonna make a note that says, this guy's not afraid to hero call when draws miss, that sort of thing. So there's actually, I used to do that quite a bit, where if I was just like, I would either always go for the aggressive play, like bluffing myself, or I would go, when I was on the receiving end of a bet, I would always go for the more for the calls, because, you know, that was some extra value there, I feel. I mean, don't go overboard with that. Poker players are really good to just like take information like that in, and just, you know, they're gonna play and they're like, fuck this guy, and then he always has it, and then you call, and then you tell yourself, I need to call her sometimes, even though you're just tilting and you want to see their hand, you know. And we always come back to honesty and everything and holding yourself accountable in poker. And I think that those situations are very important that way, because you can remember a situation any way you want it. I think that bottom 2 pairs, maybe this is a little bit of my PLO mind talking, but I think these are $11,000 stack. Well done. Well done. Nice little ASMR in the middle. If this guy is a 1K stack, I really feel like these play well to check call, check raise all in on favorable turns. Meaning like, you know, 6 to 7. 6 to 7, anything lower. Because it's good that you have something that, if you have like 6, 7 of diamonds, right? You want to check call a lot of flops, and then you want to check raise some turns, because what we talked about last time, you cannot check on the river with 7 high and expect to win. So and this is immediately we see the biggest disadvantage of playing a hand this way, and that is that there's a lot of turns where you're gonna have to give up on, and even though you would like to get to showdown, people think that you're gonna be an easy target, and you are. I commend myself for betting here, and oh my god, that is very sweet. It's a big bet, but we got called. King queen, wow. Some run out. I like the fact that he calls there on the flop, but big pot for us. But you see like, I think that this is mostly true in PLO as opposed to being true in Hold'em. A lot of times in PLO, let's say a very typical scenario is sets, top sets in PLO. Let's say you have jacks, ace, jack, jack 10, like a fucking monster hand, super happy about it. Somebody raise, you call. Flop is jack 8 deuce with 2 hearts. You're like, okay, this seems pretty reasonable. It's definitely for PLO a connected board. So, all right, yeah, you see, I have to watch it. I'm sorry. Maybe not so pro, but whatever. We're talking about poker, so still having fun. So, let's say in PLO it's jack 8 deuce, and there's a top set. If somebody bets there and you're out of position, you can fuck yourself really hard if you check raise there, because it happens so often. You check raise, somebody calls, the turn is a 9. What do? You check raise, somebody calls, the turn is a queen, something that makes it straight, or a heart. And this is even worse on a board like jack 9 deuce, because then there's more scary turns, right? Like on jack 8 deuce, there's only a few straight draws that really matter. But in the end, you have to be careful when you check raise, because the playability of your hand on future streets might be very low, so it might be tough to play. And I think that this could count as one of those, because the nice thing is, if you call the flop, this is the turn, you just check call, and if the river's a 4, you can still check call, because you really rep a hand like queen jack or king jack, or maybe king 10 with a diamond, something like that, a lot of the time. So you have easy bluff catchers in bottom 2 pair, and I really think that those hands are very easily played like that. All right, so this is the same. What the fuck, dude? Is this just the next hand or something? 6 a.m. Oh, this is 25 minutes later. 12K stack, haha. All right, so this is against a good player, absolutely terrible. Like, just absolutely fucking terrible. There's no other way around it. How the fuck does this? You see, what are we doing here? Oh my god. Did I just? Okay, that's kind of cool. Did I just bet call lead? Board doesn't change. So what am I repping here? 6-7? 6-7 would be the biggest thing, right? 6-7 or 2 pairs? That's what I'm trying to rep. That's a jack. Oh my god. What a value bet. You gotta be kidding me. What a value bet. That's pretty sexy. Ah. All right. Cool. So I know that's all good. So I'm happy. This, man, you gotta, you know, like a lot of the times we say, this is not somewhere, there's no fucking training course, right? You don't see high stakes poker. You don't see people playing online. You don't, well, you do, but you don't see their hands. You don't see all these live training videos. You don't see YouTube material because people are making training courses or selling a brand or whatever. There's no information. So what do? You try to figure shit out. You try to come up with strategies that are good, that are new, that are innovative, that put you ahead of your competition. if you can figure out something that works pretty well, I think that if you can figure out something that works pretty well that your opponents are not aware of yet, that is like a counter to the meta game of the way everybody plays, you will become one of the most feared regulars. I think that you see this with a lot of people. I think that people like, I don't know, a guy that just springs to mind from back in the day, Natsinho, you know, he played the big blind very aggressively, way more than other people did. He also was 3-betting like a ton in position. If you can come up with something on like the 10, 20, 25, 50 level, and then all of a sudden you start steamrolling people. But this is also true for the 5-10 level, because it's usually the way poker is right now is that there's a strategy on the higher stakes and slowly it trickles down, right? Like a guy that crushed 100-200s was probably studying GTO 5, 6, 7 years ago, and you know, people that are playing 1-2 are doing it right now. So strategy trickles down, trickle. So but that wasn't the case in these times. Like in 2006, I feel like every single stakes limits were their own ecosystem. I think that they were all kind of separated that way, and I really feel like stuff like this really puts you apart. I'm not saying it's necessarily good. I mean, you're repping a very thin range here, right? Like you're really trying to punish somebody who's raising Jack X or like a bottom 2 pair, put him in a really tough spot here by betting, and you kind of balance that by, I mean, I did raise pre-flop so I can have all the sets. I can have a set of kings. Set of kings is in there. So 6-7 for a straight, because I don't think that Queen Jack leads, right? That would be really cool to balance it that way. To do like bet call flop, lead turn, and then check the river to completely represent like 8-9 that could be shoved off by something, you know. Anyway, he does have a lot of queens left, and just like to get, this is just, I'm just happy with his hands. I'm just happy. I think it's cool to see that I played it that way. I'm not trying to suck my own dick here, but you know, it's important to note that it's cool, you know. Fuck it, I'm proud. I can be proud whenever I want. Yeah, this is just gonna get in. Oh, look at that late bet. Oh! Well, alright, you're dead. You're dead. Nice, he is dead. Alright, that's pretty standard. Not much to say about that one. We flop a pair and a straight draw. Oh no! No, don't close your eyes. Alright, so we have a squeeze. This I think this is, oh, Faga Lion also played a lot of 25-50. Jablu also played a lot of stuff regularly. This looks very weak. This looks very weak to me. Oh, I think there might be some 8s in there. Jesus Christ, this bet sizing. This is terrible. Because this is a really dry board, right? King Queen gonna fold. Ace Queen gonna fold. Ace X suited just gonna fold out of position. Why do you need this big bet? It's really bad. It's really bad. Alright, so, oh my, he did have an 8. Ha ha ha! Queen ball! Maroon Lime is Emil Patel, but he obviously is an amazing player, but I really disagree with the bet sizing there. It's kind of cool to see that I grinded a lot against those guys. Everybody played against each other. 50, I like it. We got raised to 200, probably gonna call here. Ace high, can't really fold it. Holy fuck, man. Same situation, right? Like, there's already an ace on the board. You already made it $200 pre-flop. So that's strong and strong. Because ace high boards are strong, right? They really favor the person re-raising. Why the fuck do you need to add a third strong on top of that? With 60, 70%, 65% pop bet. I don't get it. I don't get it. No point. Alright, I like that I call. If I raise, then super secure. I really want this guy to just ram in like king queen here or something. I think we can check again, honestly. All right. Jesus fucking Christ, these guys are payoff wizards. This is like the bankroll cavalry. Whenever you're down, wait for Fatal Sand to join the table. I mean, this is ridiculous, right? Like what the fuck are you hoping for? You know, guys, you know when you can call a bet here? You know why it's so ridiculous? Because of this. This makes it ridiculous. He makes my hand range so strong. How many fucking non-aces am I gonna have? Flush draws, I'm probably check raising all in. How many fucking non-aces do I have? Like, it's so weighted towards aces. If this guy bets 100 here and I call, and he check on the turn, and I bet the river, then I cannot fault him for calling. You probably want to call some of your kings, fold most of your queens and jacks in that scenario, because otherwise you're just overcalling in that spot where people are too much weighted towards aces. It's important to think about that, right? Like the value of kings is much different than from jacks and etc. So, Jesus fucking Christ. All right, so full real break ribs. Jesus, that's dark. The liar, wasn't he some? He was either like a massive reg or some insane bum hunter. I don't know. What's that? Okay. Wait, what happened pre-flop? I limped. Wow, look at you. Sad face. Okay. You're so good. Oh, you're so good. Alright, same shit. It's a different table. Well, this is actually the same table. Obviously, the fucking guy hitting around me now. The liar played a lot, so I'm not trying to fire shots. Okay, I don't mind the big bet. Call. This is a blank. What are we gonna use for sizing here? This is weird too, because what if he check raises? Like, what does he check raise and then check call? Well, ace ten of spades maybe or something? Maybe he's like, oh shit, this pot got real big real fast. Which is the problem, you know, but 510. Oh, he calls. Oh my god, if the river's the 5 of spades, I'm gonna cry in a little. You make it so easy now, thank you. What? Oh, no showdown, mate. What are you? Oh, this guy is a fucking straight. I'm gonna rep a set. I'm gonna rep a set. Because the set checks the turn, buddy. No. See, that's what you gotta think about. What you gotta think about. Got it. The whole story has to make sense. If you would have done something different with a set on the turn, then you can't rep it on the river. This would legitimately, if I have king queen of spades here, you have a pretty legit river shove over that bet. I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah. What the fuck? Why would you check all the turn with eights, right? It's like, why would you check raise then at least? Why would you give somebody the chance to play perfectly against you? If they hit their draw, they can fold the river, and if they don't, they put it pin. If you get that reference, I like you. All right, yeah, misplay by him for sure. Misplay. Ah, cease. AC Deucey, holy shit! This wasn't even a game then. This is something that people started playing like a few years ago. Maybe this is the eventer. 6 sticks. Always had like the school board aces. 150. I like your sizing. I mean, it's a little big, but especially for those days it was big. For nowadays, you actually see people 3-bet bigger and bigger because, you know, people defend a lot against 3-bets, and you don't really want that. You want to have full equity with your bluffs, and you're gonna 3-bet for value more often than not. So you want to 3-bet bigger as well to get more value. So that's kind of like the easy medicine against it, right? And if people start playing differently against that, you can change the strategy. Please don't crash. Can I see the turn? Thank you. Perfect turn. Doesn't complete anything. 3x very unlikely. You know, you have to go over the hands. Raises under the gun. Probably doesn't have 3x. Probably calls with a 3 on the flop. Probably should as well, but this is about the safest it gets. At this point, you just kind of know they have a pair, so you shove, you get called by jacks, and you're good. All right. So that's easy peasy, but it's important sometimes, especially against fun players, right? There's this spot on a turn when you have pots and you just know that they have somewhere in the range of like queens, jacks, tens, and this is the boards, then it's really good to just ram it in there. Also to avoid like betting 200s and then on the river there's a king and he's gonna fold his queens. That happens, right? Because ace king is such a big part of this range when you actually would be fucking around. So I like the shove, but I mean the man played kings really well, so would have got the money anyway, so looked like a genius, but it's just a cooler. Alright, we're cold calling. If he Gundam! This is actually the StarCraft legend, guys. This is actually Gundam the legend, I remember that. Really don't like this too much. I think that you need to 4-bet or fold here. You get in really awkward spots, and you know why is the most awkward? Why? Because think about when you do this. Do you do it with 8-7 suited? No. Do you do it with aces or kings? No. So your range, this is the problem. Your range is very easy to define. And I swear, I think that you can really say that 90% of the time people have ace queen, sometimes ace jack suited, really, but small part only. So ace queen, jacks, tens, or nines. That's our range. And even when I say it, you know it's true. You know that those are the exact hands that you would make this call with. So stay out of the spots. I'd rather make fucking tight folds there. Alright, no real reason to raise the flop. I'm just gonna get it in against like over pairs, like kings with the hearts or something, but jacks no hearts. Oh, let's have 5 seconds of silence for Lasse's stack. Sorry, Lasse, but you are deaded. That is bad. Whew. Can you imagine if your standard here is to get it in with jacks, do you have any idea how fucking crazy you play in this situation? If you're gonna go this crazy, you need at least king jack with a heart. You know what I mean? At least king jack with a heart to get some an emergency king, an emergency heart against some sets. Dear Lord. This is next level spewy, really. Alright, please raise his hands. Alright, I don't really mind limping along, I guess. It's not great, but you know, whatever. One thing that, and this is again, this is not me backtracking, this is just me realizing, alright, yeah, well, one thing that's important to note, especially about that time, is that people were just giving away money. Like this fucking hand, this is giving away money. It doesn't get worse than this, and I don't mean to fire too many shots at Lasse, but pretty sure he's not watching this video and not aware if he still plays. But if you're a friend of Lasse, tell him about it. It's funny. Hey Lasse, remember when you said you were always unlucky at poker? What about this? That's giving away money, and I remember there was some spots like this. What the fuck is this? And you just flop, and you just hit a flush. You hit a flush. And people just give it away. Here, you see? They just give it away. Wow, that's I like this board. Yeah. If you would have this board on average every time, you're gonna make a lot of money, Stas. But yeah. Yeah, I'm just saying that, you know, in these situations, people are just giving away money. People aren't using the correct bet size. Look at the odds that they give me to draw to a flush here. I get 10%. I mean, 8.5 to 1 I'm getting odds to call, so why do I keep touching the mic? I'm just gonna keep doing it because I like it. I like holding it. Makes me feel like a radio DJ. What's up, everybody? This is Beaker FM. Cool. Alright. Too bad for him, big setup, but we don't give a shit. Alright, this is not so great. This hand also doesn't play great multi-way. It's offsuits. You're up against a non-regular limper. Just really need to get the money. This, I mean, this is good, but fucking preposterous, dude. He's so annoying. He's just gonna fuck us here with ace queen. You already know it. He has ace queen. No, wrong move. He has ace queen. Alright, this is terrible. Alright, I'm saying that he has ace queen because c-betting this 5-way, getting called, then betting this, that's beyond bad. But let's say you have 10s or 9s, it's tough to play. I have to say that. This is disgusting. I hate this shove as well. Like, I'm allowing him to play perfect, right? Oh shit, he does have a queen. What do I have? Do I beat it? No, fold. Yes, call. You allow somebody to play perfectly against you. This must have really sent me over the edge. It's a good thing that we don't see chat from these tables, because I don't think I will be around on YouTube much longer. Okay, good. Wow, look at these stack sizes. Wow, this is too small, actually. He can pretty much call with anything suited and be relatively okay with the situation. Oh my god, look at how deep we are, man. This is always so fucking sick. Fixed sets started grinding a lot too, but this is so sick. Okay. 900s? Look at me debating preposterous. Shove? Folds, wow. I think that this flop bet would be much better if I check the turn. Why not, right? Like, this is something like, hey, this is a dry board. I need to get rid of this fucking crazy guy that keeps calling me. Kaboom. There's something to say for it. I mean, like... Yeah, checking. I think I like both. Like, I really define his range as well, but he's crazy enough to peel with 6-8 on this flop, so... Legitimately. Kind of funny that this is such a big pot and it's just a fold. Very interesting, which is something you guys wanted to see as well when we talked about it in the past. Alright, I feel like this is just going to be a setup. But at least we get to see... Kristi! At least we got to see good bet sizing. Oh, okay. Yeah, I have an 8. Well, what? Oh Lord. This is where well, he has a king to a queen high straight, or you know, he can hit a queen to a king high straight. This is a good card for him. He must have been super thrilled. Call, and then this. Like, what is your hand really worth at this moment? You have a 1 card straight. I have very little, how do you say that, like natural bluffs. What is a natural bluff I could have here? 10-9. 10-9. 10-9 would be a fucking great, awesome play here. Because you're very likely to be up against a straight, because he overbets the pot by a little bit on the turn. 10-9 would be awesome. 10-9 is kind of like a PLO kind of play, and if we're going to see short deck in the future, which I think we will. I don't know if you guys know what it is, but it's like this new poker thing that's coming up. I think that would be the bluff to go for here. All right, thank you for rent money. See ya. Morphling. Wow. Already? 70. Otta. Oh, we're gonna do the nasty way, huh? Woo! Get there twice. Not that deep. Oh, he shoves for us. We call. All right, we just like, it's very standard. We pick up a flush draw along with more straight outs on the turn. So, I mean, legitimately, great turn. It's even better than the 4 space because it makes less straights this run out if we hit a 4, kind of, you know, because if there's a 4, our chance of having 6 X's are bigger on the turn. Because, yeah, for sure. So, yeah, really nice for us. Can't blame him for shoving the river. I think it's a good bet. 200s. Definitely flat. Jesus Christ, he stacks, mate. Look at me. Go. Oh, wow, that's a flop. Call. I don't mind it. I have a 3k stack behind me. If I shove, it looks pretty drawy as well. Oh. Ha. 510. Thank you. Ha! Why? I don't understand why you shove instead of calling, but it's the Bill Ivy way. I had a lot of like rivalry with Bill Ivy. I think a lot of the regulars did. He posted some blog about how he was gonna win like 40k at 1020 or something. It was something. It was something. I don't know. I don't know why. He rubbed me the wrong way really hard. I remember Reckroll. He's like an old school StarCraft player, and he was on Liquid Poker 2. Bill Ivy made a blog about how he was gonna win like 100k somewhere, and the way he wrote it was like this was gonna be easy peasy battling regulars or something. And then Reckroll made a blog how he was gonna win 100k from Bill Ivy in a month. It's funny, but there was a lot of everybody was talking shit all the time too online. Or maybe it was just me. I don't know. But yeah, no, for sure there was like a lot. People chatted a lot. Wow, book power. Holy fuck. It's like a Dutch guy who started playing tournaments. I did not know he played back then already. Soros. Good as flat. You know what the thing is? We talked about Soros in the past, but for those people who don't remember him, he used to be one of the first loose aggressive players that I played against. He made a big impression on me, especially because I was playing lower stakes, and one of my best friends at the time, Liquid Nazgul, he played online a lot too, and he always played like 1 or 2 levels above me. He taught me poker. He got me into poker. Everything. He even got me TI tickets this week to the international. So very nice guy. So he got me into poker, and he always kept talking about Soros and how good he was and how hard he was to play and how interesting the games were. So when I moved up, it is definitely, there's that factor like, you know, oh shit, there's the guy, and I want to beat him. But if you play against really, really aggressive players, it's really good to have hands that can very easily call 2 streets at least and possibly 3. This hand qualifies for that. So to kind of, if this guy has King Jack and goes crazy with it, or Ace King here and he goes crazy with it, which happens sometimes, then this hand is just easy, like call, and then you can decide a river, and most of the time it's going to go check on the river and you just win. Or you hit like a 10, he's not going to expect it, and you can just call when he barrels it off. Alright, so we shove, we get called by 7s, wow, so we beat 7s 2 times in a row. So he elected to slow play the flop. It's not bad, I guess. I don't know. It's not bad, not my choice. But 60, can make it a little bit bigger, but it's all good. Joe Hachem, look at that. We got some fucking world champions in our videos nowadays. That's 200 is very bad bets. Very dry boards. We can bluff much cheaper. Also, we don't want to scare too many jack X's away. Oh my god. Am I really gonna get stacked by the fucking world champion here? No. No, I am not. No, I am not. That is pretty optimistic. Maybe he thought my flop bet meant that I had a flush draw. I don't know. Joe Hachem has good instincts though. I like him as a player, as a person too. I like him as a person too, but this is 5-way to the flop. Somebody, the pre-flop raiser, betting into it. 200s. Even if I have ace king, you're better off flatting here, right? I'm just not gonna fold anything good there, and it's not like, let's not pretend it's a bluff either. So it's kind of a weird spot. So somebody min raises, Mrs. Scotty B. Second nature, I like that nickname. Okay, we flop twips. Bet pot, we get check min raised. What the fuck? Oh. I'm gonna lose against a set of fours. Yeah. Yeah. That's bad news as well. 9. 3. Oh god. You got a little some. That's yeah, it's dangerous. How can you really avoid this though? Okay. Probably flat here. If you call here, there's no way this fucking guy is bluffing on a turn, but then you get a chance to fill up cheaper. What if he slow plays one? What if he bets like 200 or 300 on a turn because he feels so fucking good about himself? Especially on the 3 of spades. I don't know. It's kind of hindsight reasoning, but it really is true. Like, also, I'm allowing this guy to play perfectly against me again, right? Like, this is something that comes back a few times. Oh, I was bluffing. Oh, cool, I fold. Oh, no, I have it, I call. You see? Like, I don't know. Seems to be a little bit of a recurring pattern. I just want to avoid you guys having that issue as well. Alright, so this guy limp raises. Okay. Oh. Talk about the fucking mother load. Let's just ram it in, honestly. Yeah, nice. Nice. Oh, set of kings. Has to be. Ace 6 of spades. Oh, set of threes. This is bad. Where's that 6? Oh, this is the worst flush draw you can have too, because an ace and a 6 are dead. This is crazy. Fucking. That's what you get for playing 5 deuce, you fucking moron. Alright, can't fault myself for getting in on this flop. What a weird bet, by the way, the nut flush draw. That's what you get. I feel like we're doing this episode a little fat. Papa Bang, Swedish Legends. I feel like we're doing this episode. So this 100% is that reload trick that we talked about. I don't know why I wanted 5k on this table or 6 because I have everybody covered by a mile. I think it might have been an ego thing, to be honest with you. Might have been an ego thing. But this is to reload, and I have a small feeling that we're gonna get fucking snapped off there. That's bad. I told you guys that because of that reload thing that happens sometimes, we were gonna see some really fucked up hands where I make overshoves and get called by nutted hands. And this is just because I wanted to add on 1,000 to my stack. And I thought, ah, fuck this guy in a big line anyway. And I want this. This is only 250. Yeah, that definitely happened a little bit here and there. I did it from small blinds too. The cool thing was there used to be regulars that would do it like small blind. We would play heads up and we would just say, all right, we're gonna shove a few hands in a row. I'll let you do the reload trick or whatever. So you can we can play deep stack heads up, which is pretty cool. TB thanks. Wow, that's a nice dude. I think. No, wait, I'm confused. I mean, I'm not saying he's not nice, but I don't think he's like a friend of mine. Cool. So 40 from the small. We get called. Bet, call. Ooh, newts. Big bet, I like it. 5. Now we can probably go for... What do we do here? Like, do you just go for a massive fucking bet? He's gonna have a lot of 7x, right? 8-7, 9-7, 6-7, that sort of thing. 7s. Do you just go like... Oh, man. These fucking overbets. Okay, so I really feel like I was able to read. This is what we see time and time again. I would say that if I would have to say what my biggest strength was, I think, okay, let's talk about the bad stuff first. This is bad feedback, you know, normally I always start positive, but dear Lex, what you do really poorly I think that I got drowned in bad spots, like drowned in hands against some regulars. I don't think we've seen examples of it this time, but definitely seen some examples of it over the last few videos, where it's just kind of like call with ace high, hit some pair on the turn, call, and then make like a fucking 2k call on the river, which I respect that I did, but in the end, it's not really where you want to be. What I think I did really well is to estimate how strong my opponent was at a certain point, like the Jack 10 shove that we saw this time. This overbet, like all these overbets seem to be really working. They really seem to be getting called a lot. Or at least I think I do it against in the right situations. And, you know, they don't have to get called a lot to make you a lot of money, because if you bet 4 times pot, you only have to get called like 1 out of 8 times to be as profitable as a 50 times pot, 50% pot bet. So I really think that my strategy was good in those. You can still do that, right? Like there's still situations where you just know that your opponent is going to be pretty strong. The way he played the hand, it doesn't really matter. Like fuck balance, fuck everything, you know, especially if you play some lower stakes. Size up, bet big, just bet big, because you know you're going to get called. So same thing when you feel like you look pretty weak and you actually have a monster somehow. Let's say you bet small twice on like an ace high board and you get there. You get to the river, you hit a set or something, and you look kind of weakish. Just bet big. I think I really capitalized on those. Yeah, okay, so that's it for this week. I'm glad to be doing it. I really hope... I'm sorry again for the small delay. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for liking. I really appreciate that. That really gets these videos, keeps them rolling out. W Coop's commenting. I'm going to be trying to record a few of these this week so we don't have another pause. I fixed my holder manager so we can do this and look over the hands once more and stuff. And yeah, see you guys next time. Take care. Bye. Fucking subscribe, yeah? Alright, bye.